everybody, welcome to my creative writing channel. Today I wanted to revisit the writing exercise, the Red Wheelbarrow. We did the last video about the Enlightenment, and it's just occurred to me how important form is when we begin, much like the same way that someone who is learning how to sing has to learn how to hit each note precisely at that frequency. Writing is a discipline of precision, and well, that's what makes it good. That knowing exactly what you want to say and saying only that. So the poem, William Carlos Williams, so much depends upon, is how the exercise should begin. Just that one line, and then you don't have to do anything but think about what does so much depend upon. And then the rest of it, well, the very next line will be whatever you choose. A red wheelbarrow is what he used, but the word wheelbarrow is sometimes a compound word, and that's where he split it. So in the example that I made on my YouTube post, I did the same thing. I made it simple. I made a color. A adjective compound word split in half. Green grasshopper is where I split it. And then the next is to come up with a past participle, an ed word, a verb in the past tense, but as it's being used in the poem becomes an adjective. So, and my example was terrified by the chaos. So the first line he gives us, the second line you think of, very simple. Each line should only be, it's 4 words. Terrified by the chaos. And then I wrote, just along for the ride. Or along for the ride. Along for the ride. Along is, like, it was so much depends upon a red wheelbarrow, glazed with rainwater, beside the white chickens. So the first word of the last stanza should be some sort of preposition. It should denote a spatial orientation. And so I put along for the ride because it was a picture of a grasshopper on a dashboard. But the basic, here, let me get another color. Okay, I don't have one. All right, so basically where you are, what your work hinges on in the exercise is like 3 things. Well, not necessarily the adjective, but this word right here, so much depends upon. In his example, he's using a compound word, wheelbarrow. In the example that I used to illustrate this assignment, it was grasshopper, a compound word. Something that still makes sense when you split it apart to keep the form that William Carlos Williams gave us in the poem. So that's the first one. The second one is the past tense verb that's used for, oh God, this is horrible. The second one is the past tense verb that is used to denote, it's like for a further adjective. You know, we just had color. He gave us red. I used green. Terrified. So the third stanza is we're giving more of nature, disposition to the thing that we are describing that so much depends upon. And then the third, and I put along, but he said beside. And it's really like any kind of preposition, I think, works there. So where you get to, that is what the exercise hinges upon. That those, to me, stand out to be the three limiting factors of what makes this a good poem. And can you reproduce that on any sort of level the way that I did? And it might not be a good poem, but it has meaning to me. So where you get to experiment is once you've come up with the thing that so much depends upon, the past tense reference to describe what it has done or is doing, because remember, past tense verbs become an adjective in this regard. And then that preposition kind of brings it back into the present state, that it is actually doing something, even though it's just beside the white chickens, even though it's just along for the ride, that it brings it back to the present state, which of course was the whole purpose of the assignment, to apply gratitude to a state of mindfulness about something that we normally don't really think matters that much. So anyway, it just occurred to me going through the enlightenment themes of my next video that we really need to take a deeper look at this poem. And the simple nature that it has, it still gives us a basic formula that we need to practice, not saying any more than we have to get the actual idea out there, and you know, hopefully that it lasts the test of time. William Carlos Williams most certainly did that. And I hope that you'll find something fun to do with that assignment, and that I wasn't too straightforward in my thinking, or actually, you know, maybe that's a good thing. So let me know what you come up with in the comments if you want to participate, and I will find a better way to write on the board and come up with another example myself. So writing assignment number 1, the Red Wheelbarrow Revisited. Thank you for listening.